Hello and welcome back to podiumarcher.com. MFJJ here, talking about what bow am I going to shoot in 2022. Been asked that a lot, and my goal this year was to do what I wanted to do last year, but I ran out of time because we kind of got started late in this and we just didn't have the extra hours to commit to this task. So what I'm going to do this year is what all of you would probably love to do, that I'm fortunate enough to be in a position to be able to do. I'm going to pick 3 bows that I feel are the best bows suited for me. Maybe not the best bow of the year, because I try not to base what I think the best bow of the year is off of my size, because I'm not average. I'm a little bigger than average, so I am gonna figure out what bows I feel are best for a 30-inch drawing, 70-pound person, because that's who I am. And I've got it narrowed down personally to the V3X33, the Hoyt Ventum Pro 33. I don't feel it's fair to compare an RX-7 Ultra in this because it's so much more expensive than the other bows. I don't think that's a fair assessment. And the third bow that I'm going to be looking at is the Revolt XL, because those are the closest bows dimensionally to what I really prefer. I prefer a 33-inch-ish axle-to-axle bow with more than a 6-inch brace height, preferably at least 6.5. And those are the bows that are most available in those configurations, and I'm going to build each of those with the following pieces of equipment. I'm going to put a Hamskea Epsilon on because I firmly believe that that's the best arrow rest made, and I don't really think it's an argument, but you know, everyone has an opinion, so you're going to get a little bit of arguing. For this test, I'm going to use a black gold Pro sight. I will use the appropriate attachments to make them as streamlined and clean as possible on each bow. So the Hoyt will get its Picatinny integrate, the Matthews will get its dovetail integrate, and the Bowtech doesn't offer an integrate, so it'll just be bolted on the side with a fixed X-frame base. I would love to use the dual track, but due to the shortage of the availability of that, I'm not going to take 3 of them out of the pool just for my own personal use to play with. So I'll use a Pro sight because I do have those readily available, and I'll be able to attach them correctly. Before hunting season this year, will end up using a dual track, but for this test I'll use a Pro sight. Here, that's close enough. Single pin up in. I will use whatever quiver I can get to function the best on each bow, because I think that should be part of your determining factor when you're trying to determine what bow is going to be best for you, because not all the quivers attach the same to each bow. So in the instance of the Matthews, I'll probably use their low pro quiver system. In the instance of the Hoyt, I'll probably use their system. And in the instance of the Bowtech, I'll use a tight spot, because that's probably going to fit the best out of what they offer. We'll be using our brand Podium stabilizers that we've been making for years. We've recently offered selling them out of the building to you guys. They are on our website if you're interested. You know, there's not a massive amount of technology in a stabilizer, if you ask me. I think they're all, for the most part, carbon rods with glued on end caps and weights. So to me, I don't see a massive issue using something else. Yeah, the Matthews stabilizers are real nice. I match the bow a little better in color, but I don't think it's going to make the bow shoot better. So I'm trying to use as close to equivalent possible equipment on each to give you the most fair assessment. I'll go through a bow build of each one. So you'll see me do a bow build for the Matthews, you'll see me do a bow build for the Hoyt, you'll see me do a bow build for the Bowtech, for myself. I'll build strings a whole bit, record it all, make a whole series for you guys to follow along with. And then I'll put them through the ringer and shooting. I'll tune each of them as best as possible, as humanly as possible to fit me. I'll set them all at the exact same length and the exact same weight and go through and test all of them for velocity. We'll document everything, put it all into a series for you guys. This might be 6, 7, 8 videos by the time I'm done, and this is what I really wanted to do last year, but we ran out of time, so that's what we're going to do this year. So hopefully that'll be fun for you to follow along and watch, because at the end of the day, the only way to really know which one of these things is going to function best for you is to build one of each one exactly how you would want it and fit them all the same, and then put them through the ringer, shooting them at distance, testing their velocities, shooting with broadheads, the whole bit, which one of these bows truly shoots better. And that's what I'm hoping to provide for you guys to help make my conclusion as transparent as possible, because at the end of the day, I don't take money from anybody. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Just about anybody will give me a bow if I want it, so it's not like I have to pay for it by any means. But these are all bows that I'm taking off our wall that we paid for. there is no influence from anybody, but obviously, we are using our own products because we do make our own strings and we do make our own stabilizers, so I'm going to use those, so I'm not going to use somebody else's. But everything else is whatever products I feel are best personally, that I would personally choose to use, and hopefully that's something fun for you to follow along with and check out. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of how come not the PSE, how come not the Elite, how come not the etc, etc, etc. This is my personal opinion of the 3 bows that I feel are closest to what I would want. So I'm not hating on somebody, these bows I think are a little bit better suited for me, for what I like. Doesn't mean I think they're the best built bows. That doesn't mean that I don't think PSE is good or Elite is good or what have you. I can't do this with 6, 7, 8, 9 different bows because it's just too much time, guys. So I picked 3 that I would be most likely to personally use, and then building those. Hopefully you can follow along. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it gets some views, and hopefully it helps you guys make a decision on what you feel is best. Hey, head on over to podiumarcher.com. Buy a thing or 2 if you can, or not. We're working on some swag for you guys, so hopefully there'll be some apparel, some other things that might have logo wear on it that you might have interest in. Maybe you don't, but provide you something out there if you want to represent. Really appreciate all the feedback that I get from you guys, and all the follows and the likes. Makes me feel like what I'm doing is beneficial to you in general, and it makes me feel like it's probably worth continuing to do it, or do it at a larger scale. So the more response I get from you guys and the more feedback I get from you guys just kind of force me to spend a little bit more of my work week doing this instead of what I would normally do, so I can hopefully reach more people and help more people, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. But hey, hit like, hit subscribe, keep coming back, and hopefully we'll have more interesting stuff for you in the future. But this series will start here pretty quick. I'm just waiting on some arrow rests. So once I get arrow rests, I'll start building each bow. So thanks for checking us out.